Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up, sit on the edge of the bed, and think to yourself, how did I get here? Not in a sad way, necessarily, but just noticing how different things feel. Your knees creak a little more, your mornings are a little quieter, and sometimes you wonder if your best years are behind you. If you've ever felt that way, even for a moment, I want you to know something important. Just because you've turned 70 doesn't mean your story is over. In fact, it's not even close. There are simple changes you can make, even now, that can help you live longer and, more importantly, feel better while you're doing it. A lot of people believe that aging means slowing down, giving up certain things, or accepting discomfort as normal. But what if I told you that some of the biggest benefits to your health and longevity can come after 70? Yes, it's true. It's never too late to take back a little control over how you feel, how you move, and how long you live. In this video, we're going to have a real conversation about 5 lifestyle shifts, small ones, manageable ones, that can still make a big difference, even now. This isn't about turning back time. It's about honoring the time you have ahead of you and making sure you fill it with energy, peace, and purpose. Let's start with something that seems almost too simple to matter, but it does. Your daily movement. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or joining a gym. I'm talking about the way your body flows through the day. Whether it's walking around your garden, stretching your arms above your head when you wake up, or dancing a little to your favorite song while making breakfast, movement is medicine. As we get older, our muscles naturally shrink if we don't use them. That leads to stiffness, weakness, and even more serious risks like falls. But the beautiful thing is, your body responds to movement at any age. Even 10 minutes of gentle exercise a day can improve your balance, boost circulation, help with digestion, and lift your mood. Think of your body like an old but beloved car. It might need a little more warming up in the morning, but when you treat it well, when you keep the engine running regularly, it will take you further than you think. One of the kindest things you can do for your future self is to stay in motion. And movement does something else too. It gives structure to your day. It reminds your body when to feel alert and when to start winding down. That rhythm, that sense of flow, keeps your brain sharper and your spirit lighter. Now, as you begin to move more, there's another piece that goes hand in hand with it. The way you fuel your body. At this stage of life, what you eat matters more than ever, but not in a restrictive, joyless kind of way. It's not about dieting or counting calories. It's about choosing foods that truly support your health and energy. After 70, your body may not absorb nutrients as efficiently as it used to. That means you need to be a little more intentional about getting the good stuff in. Think colorful foods, bright berries, leafy greens, sweet potatoes, nuts, and fish. These are the kinds of foods that protect your heart, support brain function, and reduce inflammation. And even more importantly, they help you feel better. You'd be amazed at the difference you feel after just a few days of choosing foods that work with your body instead of against it. And let me say this clearly. Eating well doesn't have to mean giving up the foods you love. It just means adding in more of what your body needs now. Maybe it's switching white bread for whole grain, or adding a handful of walnuts to your salad. Maybe it's trying a warm bowl of lentil soup instead of something fried. Small choices, big impact. Sometimes people say, I'm too old to change my habits. But you're not. Your body is still listening. It's still responding. You just have to send it the right signals. And every bite is a message, either one of healing or one of stress. But food and movement aren't just physical. They're emotional too. They're tied to your mood, your motivation, and even your memories. That's why the next change I want to talk about is just as vital, though it lives in a more invisible place. Your connections. At this point in life, it's easy to feel like the world is getting smaller. Friends move away. Loved ones pass on. Social circles shrink. And without meaning to, we begin to isolate ourselves. But here's the thing. Loneliness isn't just an emotional ache. It actually has physical consequences. Studies have shown that chronic loneliness can be just as harmful to your health as smoking or obesity. The good news? It's never too late to reach out. It doesn't have to be a big reunion or a crowded event. It could be a phone call with an old friend, a morning coffee with a neighbor, joining a walking group, a book club, or even chatting with someone while waiting at the pharmacy. Human connection, real, genuine connection, nourishes the heart and protects the mind. And if you've been feeling isolated, please know that you're not alone. So many people in their 70s and beyond feel the same way. But the first step doesn't have to be hard. Just start small. Say hello. Ask someone how they've been. Open one door, and you might be surprised at what walks in. When you combine that sense of connection with nourishing food and gentle movement, something powerful starts to shift inside you. It's not about chasing youth. It's about claiming vitality, the kind that's still available to you right now. Now that we've touched on movement, nourishing food, and the power of human connection, let's talk about something that often gets overlooked, but it affects everything else. Your mindset. How you think, how you talk to yourself, how you see your own life. It all matters more than most people realize. Think about it for a second. Have you ever caught yourself saying things like, "I'm too old for that," or "at my age, what's the point?" It may seem harmless, but over time, that kind of thinking can quietly chip away at your motivation, your confidence, even your physical health. The mind and body are deeply connected, especially as we get older. What if, instead, you gave yourself permission to be curious again, to try something new, not because you have to, but because you can, whether it's learning how to use a smartphone more confidently, trying out watercolor painting, or even learning a new language slowly and just for fun. It's not about mastering it. It's about keeping your brain alive and open. Scientists have found that people who stay mentally and emotionally engaged, who believe they still have something to offer, tend to live longer and report better quality of life. And it makes sense. When your days have meaning, when you wake up with something to look forward to, your body follows that energy. It's like lighting a small fire inside that keeps you going, even when things get hard. You don't have to become someone new. You just have to remember that you're still becoming. Growth doesn't end at 70. If anything, this can be a time of deep reflection and even reinvention. You've lived through so much. You've learned lessons no book can teach. And there's a quiet kind of strength in that. A good way to shift your mindset is to start asking better questions. Instead of "what did I lose?" ask, "what do I still want to experience?" Instead of "what's wrong with me?" ask, "what can I still nurture?" That small change in language can unlock doors you didn't even know were closed. And speaking of nurturing, let's talk about rest. Not just sleep, but real rest. The kind that fills you up instead of just pausing the day. Too often, we confuse rest with laziness. We think we have to earn it. But rest is not a reward. It's a requirement. After 70, your body and your mind benefit even more from intentional rest than they did when you were younger. And I'm not just talking about napping, though a short nap can be lovely. I'm talking about doing things that bring calm to your nervous system, that slow your breathing, that remind you, "I am safe, I am okay." Maybe that's sitting by the window with a cup of tea and no distractions. Maybe it's closing your eyes and listening to music that takes you back to a time when your heart felt light. Maybe it's walking barefoot on grass, or spending 10 minutes with your hands in warm, soapy water, letting yourself move slowly and gently. Whatever it looks like for you, give yourself permission to rest without guilt. This isn't about giving up your day. It's about recharging so you can show up for it more fully. There's also something else rest does. It allows space for reflection, and that's powerful. You may find old memories rising up, or dreams you forgot you had. Don't push them away. Listen. Sometimes our body and mind speak to us through silence, and in that silence, we often find the next right step. You might be wondering, though, how do you build these new habits? How do you start when the routines you've had for years are so deeply rooted? Start gently. There's no rush. You don't have to change everything overnight. In fact, you shouldn't. Small changes stick better because they feel safe. Instead of overhauling your whole diet, start by adding one healthier food a day. Instead of forcing yourself to walk a mile, just put your shoes on and step outside. Let the rest come naturally. Progress isn't loud. Sometimes it looks like a whisper that says, "I'll try again today." And if you have a day where you don't follow through, where you slip back into old habits. That's okay. That's not failure. That's life. What matters is that you keep returning to yourself with kindness, not shame. There's no perfect way to age. There's no gold medal for doing it without any struggle. What there is, though, is an opportunity right here, right now, to live a little more fully than you did yesterday. So, whether you've just turned 70 or you're deep into your 80s or even 90s, this is still your time. Your story isn't over. In fact, there's still so much left to write. And now, we come to something that might just be the most underestimated lifestyle change of all: staying connected to a sense of purpose. Not tasks, not routines, but something that gives your days meaning. Something that makes you feel like you're still contributing, still growing, still part of something bigger than yourself. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. You don't need to be running marathons or writing a novel. Purpose might be as simple as growing tomatoes in a garden and watching them ripen under the sun. It might be helping a neighbor with groceries or calling a friend who needs to hear your voice. It might even be showing up to your local community center once a week to volunteer, share stories, or just smile at someone who needs it. You see, the heart needs to feel needed. It needs to feel useful. That doesn't go away with age. It actually becomes more important, because when we feel like we matter, our body responds. Blood pressure settles. Inflammation decreases. The brain lights up in different ways. We feel less alone, more engaged, more alive. You might be thinking, but what if I don't know what my purpose is anymore? That's okay. You don't have to know right away. Purpose isn't a title or a job. It's something that can shift and change with you. It might look different now than it did 20 years ago. It might be quieter, but that doesn't make it less powerful. Start by paying attention to what lifts your spirit, what gives you energy, what makes you lose track of time. Sometimes purpose is hidden in the simple things: writing letters, baking bread, telling your grandchildren stories that only you can tell. Those are gifts. They ripple out farther than you think. And even if you live alone, even if you feel like your circle has grown smaller, your life still holds meaning. Don't underestimate the impact of your smile, your kindness, or your listening ear. The world is full of noise, but people still need quiet strength. And you, my friend, have that in abundance. When you put all these pieces together, movement, nourishment, a positive mindset, real rest, and meaningful purpose, what you're really doing is building a life that supports you from the inside out. Not just to exist longer, but to live longer, fully, with joy, clarity, and strength. There's a myth that after a certain age, it's too late to change. But that myth isn't true. The truth is, our bodies and minds are always capable of small shifts. And small shifts, done consistently, can change your whole experience of aging. You don't need to chase youth. You don't need to fear wrinkles or slower steps. Aging isn't the enemy. It's a privilege. And how you choose to move through this season matters. You still have choices. You still have power. And you still have time. So take that first walk, even if it's short. Choose that nourishing meal, even if it's just once today. Say something kind to yourself, even if your mind tries to resist it. Reach out to someone, even if it's been a while. Let rest be part of your rhythm. And let purpose find you, gently, as you stay open to it. You are not done yet. Your presence is still a gift. Your life still has chapters left to unfold. And the best part? You get to shape them. If any part of this message resonated with you, if you felt even a small spark of hope or motivation, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me, what's one small change you're ready to make? Or what gives you purpose these days? And if you found this video helpful, please give a like and subscribe to the channel. There's so much more we're going to explore together. Ways to stay healthy, joyful, and strong through every season of life. You are not alone in this journey. We're walking it together, step by step. And I believe with all my heart, you have so much life left to live. Here's to waking up each day with gratitude, to honoring our bodies, our memories, and our futures, to living well, not just longer, but better. Here's to living your best life at any age.